Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the Sephora and Beautycounter collab, which Beautycounter isn't a brand that I was like extremely familiar with before, but it is an MLM. So yes, Sephora and an MLM are partnering together. We'll get into the details more of that in just a second here. Then it's going to take a sec to pop my Instagram up on the screen here if you want to go follow me over there as well. I've seen a lot of comments requesting me to do like a hair care routine and how I do my hair. Which I didn't want to do like a full video of that, so if you head over to my Instagram, I did film an IGTV, which is up right now as you're watching this, so definitely go pop over there if you have been interested in that. And also take a second down below and just subscribe. It only takes a second, it helps me out a lot. But with that being said, let's get into it. I have my laptop here, so if you see me looking to the side, I have my laptop, I have my notebook. We have a lot to get into. Beautycounter is a more like mainstream brand, but they do have an MLM structure. You can go onto the website and buy the products on your own without going through a consultant, but it is still an MLM at the end of the day. I know they've done partnerships, I think in like Target. There was a couple other stores that I saw that they've done partnerships in, but it's basically like a skincare and some makeup company. So I wanted to get this video out there, so hopefully people see that they're considering buying it and maybe they will change their mind on whether or not they want to support that collaboration. It's just going to be the products, a select amount of products carried in Sephora for a few months. I'm in Canada, so I'm not sure if the products that are going to be accessible on the Sephora Canada website are different from the States. From what I've saw, it looks like just skincare products based on what is in the Sephora app so far. Obviously, when a brand is carried in Sephora, a lot of people won't know that it's an MLM, or a lot of people who might see these new products being carried on Sephora don't even know what an MLM is to begin with, so they might not know what they're supporting by buying that. So of course, if you clicked on this video and you're into like anti-MLM content, you probably already have an idea, but for those who might have just been curious about the collaboration itself, what an MLM is a multi-level marketing system of selling, and it's like a business opportunity basically. So what that boils down to is essentially a pyramid scheme. It is set up for majority of the people not to make money. We will go into the income disclosure statements in a minute, but an MLM is basically exactly that. It's a pyramid scheme where essentially one person builds a team under them, and the person at the top makes profit off of all the other people under them that they keep signing up. Obviously, you can get more technical than that, but that's kind of the gist of it, just since that's not what this whole video is about. The intention of the collaboration is probably just to get people hooked so that they like the products, and then when Sephora stops carrying them, it's more business for Beautycounter. Now this I find interesting because I don't feel like Sephora really gains a lot from this. Like, they already have tons of clean brands. The clean brands are some of the most popular on their website. So I don't really see why Sephora would do this or what they gain. A lot of people were pretty dissatisfied in the comments of the announcement post as well, just stating that, you know, MLM isn't right. I remember Anastasia Beverly Hills was going to do a collaboration with Rodan & Fields for like a little brow kit, and that got, I don't remember if it got canceled completely or cut short, but it was definitely, people responded pretty negatively, and it was definitely handled. So the main things that I've noticed overall, it seems like the feelings of the consultants are not good. They're actually not really loving this. The first issue that I have with MLMs in general and with Beautycounter, which is no different from any of the others, is that the consultants are the customers. So really, like, the main people who are buying products from an MLM are the ones who are selling it, because they have to keep up with the personal volume, which is like a certain amount of products that they're actually buying. They're basically forced to try every new product. Even if they say it's not required, your upline usually makes you feel like it is required, because you can't really sell a product that you don't know anything about or haven't tried. And then as well, you're usually forced to sign up with like a welcome or starter kit, which is like a bunch of products. We'll get into the cost of that a bit more specifically for Beautycounter, but in general, the consultants are the main consumers of the products. Very, very rarely does an MLM exit that and kind of like penetrate the full market of people. Usually it is just like, you know, odd couple of people here who are buying from their relative or something to try to support like their friends or family's business, but majority of the sales of actual product are internally from the consultants. They don't get their discount on products bought through Sephora. And as well, the flip side of that is if anyone buys the products through Sephora, the consultant does not get a credit for that sale. So that is really interesting and kind of really sucks for the consultants, because basically, like, if their friend or family typically shops at Sephora and maybe they're like, oh yeah, I'll buy like my eye cream from you through a Beautycounter, they may be placing an order or going into a Sephora that's going to carry the products, and they'll be like, oh, it's so much easier to just do this all at once. And they feel like in their mind, okay, well, I'm still supporting the company, which is Beautycounter, but you're not actually supporting the consultant any longer with that sale, which I find really interesting. I know if I had paid $400 to sign up to sell a product, I would be a little bit disappointed that it was going to be carried so accessibly in a store that pretty much everyone who's into beauty products shops at least occasionally. And a lot of people had some things to say about that on Instagram. So here are some of the comments. So one woman commented saying, will I still be able to buy Beautycounter outside of Sephora? I only buy my beauty products from companies with female CEOs. So yes, the CEO of Beautycounter is actually a woman. Her name is Greg, but she is a woman. She just has like a boyish name, which I actually personally love that. I love like boy names for girls. So first of all, if you're buying the Beautycounter products at Sephora, you still are supporting a female CEO, which I guess she probably doesn't even know that about her own company because she sees the name Greg and assumes it's a man. But clearly with this, what she is implying is that she picks only female consultants. She's referring to them as CEOs, which just, oh God. So that's dumb. And then one person said, I'm super excited about this if it truly is only going to be a 3-month run in Sephora. One of the main reasons why I recently became a Beautycounter consultant is because I want to be able to provide my clients with high quality products that are not sold in stores. I definitely know that this will bring brand awareness to millions, but if this partnership runs longer than 3 months or Beautycounter decides to remain in Sephora, it kind of defeats being a consultant if people can just buy our products at Sephora, even if it's just a few products. Beautycounter basically didn't give a crap. They said, hi there, thank you for sharing your concerns as a consultant. We can assure you that this partnership is for a limited time. Beautycounter has had many collaborations like throughout. Some of them are consistent and like constant. So they sell through Goop, which is Gwyneth Paltrow's company, which I have thoughts on that, but we won't get into that. And they have had physical stores as well, just a few of them. And they also have had products in Target before. I'm not sure if that was limited time or consistent, but they have done that with Target. Someone else replied to that other girl's comment saying, Beautycounter, the company, doesn't give a crap about you as a consultant. You are a customer held hostage and you can escape. MLMs are a business model that are predatory and unethical. There is help. Reach out to accounts like, and then she tagged a couple, which is hilarious because this person's clearly anti-MLM, but definitely I agree. Like, if Beautycounter cared so badly about their consultants only and not about getting brand awareness, money, more sales, they wouldn't be doing this because it doesn't really help the consultants at all. It's basically 3 months where half or more of their customers, like the consultants' customers, are just going to buy it at Sephora because it's just easier. People don't want to wait forever for products so they can walk into a store and get it. And then someone else commented, this should definitely not be for a limited time. I think that availability and ease of purchase for your customers are more important than making your beauty consultants happy. As well, that I feel like it gives legitimacy to the brand. My husband hates things sold by consultants. His thoughts are if it's a good product, then the store should want to sell it. People are saying I definitely disagree. Kind of disappointed to hear this because I just signed up as a consultant, but if it brings brand awareness, it could be a positive thing. So I find the way that they're talking about this as well just seems very, like even the last comment, it's clear that they're disappointed because they can see how this is not going to help their business, especially for like the first or the 3 months that it's going on. But even afterwards, I mean, I know myself, if a product gets discontinued at Sephora and that's where I always shop at, I'm not going to really seek it out. I'm just going to find something else because it's just easier to get everything all in one place. And especially like even if I bought a product in Sephora, I'm not going to then want to buy it from a consultant because honestly, even if I didn't care about MLMs, that would kind of piss me off. Like that would be like if I went to get like my NARS concealer and then Sephora, I went in there and I'm like, hey, I'm just here to pick up the same concealer that I got 2 months ago. And they're like, oh, actually, we don't sell it anymore. And now you have to reach out to a specific consultant and order through them and blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, no, just show me something else. Like I'm not doing that. So I definitely don't think that it helps the consultants at all. I definitely think it's just going to take away from their sales for 3 months, and then afterwards I don't know that it's really going to do anything. But I think for Beautycounter it's just an easy way to get more people knowing the brand, liking the product, so that they're then going to buy them from their website, and just more sales in general because obviously a lot of people do shop for beauty products at Sephora. Someone else commented saying, how does this help consultants? And Beautycounter replied, this partnership benefits consultants for many reasons. We believe patterning, they meant partnering, with Sephora, beauty industry leader, further validates the Beautycounter mission and movement. It will bring increased awareness and validation to the brand, and it will allow millions of people across US and Canada to learn about Beautycounter, creating more business for each channel in the long term. Which again, I just kind of touched on that. I don't really think so. Someone else said, will our consultants still get credit? And Beautycounter replied, when shopping through Sephora, consultants are unable to get credit. A lot of people are saying that they got their order, or that they placed an order and hasn't like shipped, or that they only got part of their stuff and they were never told about that, so that's interesting as well. Someone else said, sounds like a sellout to me. What about the consultants who work so hard to bring your brand awareness? I'm not buying that it will help them too. Come on now. And they said, thanks for voicing your concerns, Kimberly. We hear you, and we do believe this partnership will benefit our consultants in many ways. Beautycounter has always believed in meeting customers where they want to shop, through consultants, beautycounter.com, retail stores, and through strategic partnerships. This partnership with Sephora is offering increased brand awareness, brand validation, and promotion across the US and Canada, and most importantly, it will allow for millions of people to learn about Beautycounter's mission and movement, creating more business for each channel in the long term. We're looking at this partnership as the ultimate validation of Beautycounter's position as the leader in clean. Now, I want to say I identify as a product junkie. I have tons of products, skincare, makeup, everything like that. I've always been into that. Like, even as a kid, I would buy, like, that was what I bought. I didn't buy clothes. I didn't buy anything. I only wanted to go into Sephora and just buy tons of stuff. I've been Rouge there for like years. So I buy a lot of beauty products, and I truly don't feel like Beautycounter is the leader in clean. They can self-proclaim that, but definitely, like, when I think of clean beauty, that's not a brand that has ever come to my mind. And until I started actually looking into MLMs, I had never heard of them. And I don't think to this day, if I wasn't looking into MLMs, that I would know what Beautycounter is. And then when I saw it in Sephora, like, I don't know if I'd be interested or not. Obviously now I'm completely not. But when I think of clean, I think of like Drunk Elephant. Briogeo is one of my favorite brands for clean hair care. Like, there's tons of brands in Sephora that all have like the Sephora clean check mark. And Beautycounter is not really any more special than those. But let's get into it. So they have the focus of clean and non-toxic beauty products. They also have what they call the never list, which is a huge list of like chemicals and things that they never include in their products. Now, I will say overall, yeah, I think that clean beauty is pretty important, but these days clean doesn't really mean that much anymore. I've been doing a lot of research about like greenwashing and how clean doesn't actually have any true definition in the cosmetic world at all. So companies can label something clean basically like whenever they want. Now, the clean check at Sephora does certify that some of the products are formulated without, and there's like a whole bunch of chemicals. But even that being said, there's still ways for things to be like not clean. And then there's also this misconception that natural equals good for you, when that's not always true. Like, there are definitely tons of natural ingredients that you wouldn't ingest, don't want on your skin. Poison ivy, for instance, is natural, but I'm not going to want it in my face cream. So it's kind of like a huge thing. Another big thing and a main reason not to support the Beautycounter collab, whether you're interested in the products, whether you don't care about MLM, anything like that, is actually the fact that their corporate offices, so not just the consultants, but the actual people running Beautycounter, are extremely racist. Now, I'm not going to cover that in huge detail. There is a video I definitely recommend you check out. It is by Margaret. I will link her right first thing in the caption down there. She did an awesome video about the corporate of Beautycounter, all the racist things they've said and done to their Black and people of color employees. Like, for instance, after they were told that their behavior was racist, they decided to throw a fried chicken and watermelon party, which is obviously a huge stereotype and completely not an appropriate reaction to being told that you are being racist. But that is a very big thing to consider. So even if you don't care about MLM, or you don't care about clean, or you don't care about the cost of the products because they are pretty overpriced, definitely you should care about giving your money to a racist company. That's absolutely not okay, and our dollar is our vote in what we think is allowed, and definitely you should not support them. Again, Margaret's video is linked in the caption. I highly suggest after this video you go check that out if you want more information and receipts on all of that. So the next issue with Beautycounter and Sephora is that, for me, I find it's very overpriced for what it is. So yes, they have clean products, but some of the products are like quite high in price for what they are. Now, I myself do like some luxury products, so I understand spending extra money on things even if it's not necessary. But in general, I would say their products are pretty overpriced considering that they're just a lot of like essential oils. There's not a whole lot to them. I'm just opening my laptop up here because I'm going to get into the income disclosure statements on Beautycounter's website. I brought it both in Canada and the States. The numbers are pretty similar, but let's get into that. So for the Canadian one, I'm Canadian, so I'm starting with that. You can see here they have the percentage of consultants at each title. Obviously the largest one is the first, which is just consultant. The average monthly earnings of a consultant is $56, and then the top 25% of consultants make $172 a month. Now, if you consider the cost of rent pretty much anywhere, imagine making $172 a month as the top 25% of people in your role. That just is insane. So as you can see, there are some people who do pretty well. Obviously, managing director, which is the top 1% of the company, make $23,000 to about $48,000 for the top percent. The bottom 10% make $10,000. The bottom 10% of consultants at the bottom row make $0. And that's not even taking into consideration the products they have to purchase. So those people, the bottom 10%, have actually completely lost money. Even the people making $56 a month have pretty much lost money. Now, if we scroll down a little bit, it also says consultants join Beautycounter by purchasing a $98 Canadian enrollment kit that includes sales materials, products, and a personal website for 1 year. So meaning in the next year, they're going to have to spend more to get the website again. Many consultants choose to buy an optional starter set, which includes products to use, demonstrate, and sample. In 2019, 60% of enrolling consultants purchased a starter set. On average, new consultants spend $570 at the time of enrollment in 2019. So let's just do some math here. So most of the consultants make about $56 a month, meaning they make $672 per year off Beautycounter. Now let's subtract the $570 on average they spent, meaning that they would have made in a year $102. Or if we want to do that monthly, their profit would be $8 a month. So that's pretty bad. That's 84% of the company that's doing that. And of course that's being generous because there are a lot of people who don't make any money at all. And then I will open up the American one as well, which actually looks a little worse. So 82% of the company made $46 a year, $10 less than the Canadians. They spend an average $440 at the time of enrollment, which of course the Canadian dollar is way worse, so our enrollment kit is going to be more. They do purchase a $98 enrollment kit. And then here, it's interesting because the highlights of earnings, they definitely make it sound better. The average total annual income for all US consultants was $2,060. But that you have to take into consideration is the average between the people making $46 a month and the people making $24,000 a month, which is only 0.2% of consultants. Like, look at the percentages, guys. Like, director, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's like the minimum I would consider for like a pretty much livable wage. Maybe the one below, but you'd probably have to be splitting your rent with someone. 1.9% of the company makes a livable wage. 1.7% of the company makes like half of a livable wage, and then 82, 90, 96% of the company are these bottom three, really. So they're not making enough to even live, which is crazy. And yeah, it's really interesting to me that the CEO, who cares so much about like toxic ingredients and things, doesn't care that this is what her company is doing to people. And I find if you care about supporting clean, you also have to care about supporting ethical companies, and a company that is racist, scamming people, pyramid structure, clean ingredients aren't enough to make up for all of that. Speaking of ingredients, I wanted to take a deep dive and compare some of my favorite clean products on Sephora to the Beautycounter ones. I have a couple of websites up that kind of decode ingredients for you and mark them off as like completely safe, mildly safe, could cause irritation, stuff like that. So the first product that I have up is the Beautycounter Overnight Resurfacing Peel, which if we scroll through, I'll put it up on the screen here, we can see that it has some superstar ingredients, some good ingredients, And then the bottom half are icky, which are more fragrant ingredients, perfumes, essential oils, things like that. Its rating in general is not bad, but overall a lot of fragrance. The next one beside it is Drunk Elephant TLC Serum. This is one of my absolute favorites. So we'll scroll down into this. Oh wow, no icky ingredients in this one. Now I will say I have a pretty decent understanding for ingredients, but I want to use the website, of course, to back up what I already think about the ingredients. And as well as you can see, it's not a bias. This is actually just literally a website that runs the ingredients, recognizes names, and puts a rating to it. That's it. It's not someone with any personal biases. And then the final one is Prism from Herbivore, which is also an AHA BHA serum, so like an overnight peel. And this one has a much smaller ingredient list, but as you can see as well in the screenshot, there's also no icky ingredients, not a whole lot of fragrance. Now fragrance, for some people it's not a big deal. I don't really mind a little bit of fragrance in my products, but if you watch Skincare by Hiram, I'll link that channel down below as well. He is phenomenal. He speaks a lot about fragrance in his products because fragrances are, first of all, usually made from alcohol. They can be drying, they can be sensitizing to the skin, irritating, and they're not hypoallergenic. So therefore, a large percentage of people who might have scent sensitivities, it just takes those products completely out of the question for them for no reason other than that the brand wants them to smell a little bit nice. So fragrance isn't really great in products. Now the next one that I was going to compare is the Beautycounter Countertime Tetrapeptide Cream, which is a face cream. It has peptides in it, so I'm comparing it to the Drunk Elephant Polypeptide Protini Moisturizer. Kind of similar, but I'll pop up the screenshots here. So if we look at this one is from Cosmilly Ingredient Checker. I used like 2 different ones just to see how it was. This one, it says that the potassium sorbate, which is a synthetic component, has moderate hazard. And then if we look at the Drunk Elephant one, it does have more ingredients, but everything is marked safe. There are a couple things at the bottom, which one of them says supports fungal acne, which pretty much any moisturizer could have that, just because things that are more heavy and damp on the skin kind of lead to more bacteria possibly hanging out on the skin. And then this one says it can be comedogenic. The Beautycounter one has the same 2 marked off. So that's really interesting, I find. And the next products that I was going to take a look at here was some vitamin C serums, just because I know vitamin C is super, super trendy right now. So the Beautycounter one is called Counter All Bright Vitamin C Serum. Another one, the potassium sorbate, again, marked as moderate hazard. And then limonene, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but that is another fragrant ingredient, and that one is also said to be moderate hazard. This one's marked for may provoke allergy. Again, with those fragrant ingredients, that can definitely be a concern. And now the last one, which is my actual favorite vitamin C serum, which is the Tatcha Violet C Radiance Brightening Serum. Pop that screenshot up on the screen here. This one is actually entirely all safe ingredients. The only thing that it says it could be is comedogenic, which vitamin C does have a tendency to create some clogged pores or little texture on the skin, especially when you first start using it. So that is not totally unexpected to me to see of all of them. But I am actually really glad to see that the one that is my favorite has 0 hazardous ingredients, which is awesome. I wanted to get into the ingredients just because the products are pretty pricey. And again, I love to buy sometimes expensive products. The ones that I mentioned that are my favorite, like Drunk Elephant and Tatcha, are not cheap by any means. In fact, they're definitely still overpriced for what you're getting, and you are paying for the name for sure. But I understand that sometimes buying a luxury product just feels good. You enjoy the whole experience of it. That's definitely how it is for me. But I want to say that if you're going to spend that amount of money, there's a lot better ingredients that you can get that are actually going to do something for your skin. And then I just want to get into a little bit about clean beauty as a whole. Clean beauty and non-toxic beauty have no true definition as per health regulations. A lot of the MLMs love to say that they meet UK standards or like European standards because they have a large list of chemicals in products that are not allowed. But with that being said, kind of like I touched on in my Monate video, sometimes the list of ingredients that are banned from their products are things that would never even be in the product to begin with, like coal and things like that, which we haven't formulated in cosmetics with for a very long time. The terms clean beauty are basically just made up. It has no real weight or meaning to it as per health regulations or the FDA. There are no federal standards for the term hypoallergenic either. So that's another thing. First of all, that we can see Beautycounter's products do include quite a few fragrant ingredients that could definitely be allergens for many, many people. But as well, brands can slap on terms like hypoallergenic and clean without it meaning anything at all. Even same with things like organic and sulfate free. These are all buzzwords that are used to sell products that don't really have any meaning at all. So many lists of things they formulate without include things that aren't bad, are false information that aren't actually bad for your skin, and it's all just a lot of false information on what's bad or dangerous. It's a bit of a fear-mongering tactic about ingredients in cosmetics, and it's just used as a tactic to sell people your product as opposed to a competitor product. Another thing that I found very interesting when I was researching about Beautycounter and their products in general is there's a website called I Read Labels For You. I used them in my last Monet video as well. But they actually had posted, and I just wrote down, I will link the article down below, but I just wrote what I thought was important from it here. But Beautycounter claims to test all of their products for how clean they are. They test for specific ingredients like heavy metal concentrations in their makeup, things like that. But the thing with that is they never actually release the information. And I Read Labels For You had actually reached out saying they wanted information on the results of the testing that Beautycounter claims publicly to do. And it was extremely hard to get any information. They actually were never able to get the results, and they were told that they would need to sign a NDA, non-disclosure agreement, if they were given the test results, which in that case they said no, because that completely defeats the point. If they're not allowed to say that they received the information, they're not allowed to say what the information is, they basically have to pretend it didn't happen. What's the point of that? To me, that kind of shows that Beautycounter is 100% not transparent, and this whole clean thing seems like a lot more marketing than it is actual research-based ingredient lists, things like that. They're totally not transparent about their testing results, which is extremely shady, because if you were testing and everything was super clean, you would think you'd want to boast those results right out there for the world to see, so that you can prove that you are transparent with your results and that you have nothing to hide, and in fact you can be proud of how clean your products are. So overall, as you can see, my opinion on the Beautycounter collaboration with Sephora is, in general, pretty negative. Yes, I think that clean beauty products are important, but really there's so many other amazing brands that you can support, both big and small. I mean, even if you check out like any of your local health food shops, they probably have tons of smaller businesses and local businesses that support making clean beauty affordable and easy to access. So that's all the information I have for you today. Sorry if this video is a little bit shorter than normal. But leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think about the Beautycounter and Sephora collab, or the fact that it is only a limited time collaboration. As well, I'm going to post my Instagram one more time up on the screen here. Pop over there if you're interested in my hair tutorial, or just to connect with me, since I do post a little bit more regularly over there. Hit that subscribe down below if you're not subscribed already. I would love to have you. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.